Go three, two, one. Yeah.
All right, everybody,
What's
we're
up?
back with the Claw for another
Oh
episode.
no. Oh no. My real name's showing. I have to really name that. It has to say the claw. Change. Okay,
Do we
there we
gotta
go.
start over? Are we good?
No, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, so we're back for another episode of the Bob Seat with the Claw. He's back for what is like third or fourth time now?
We're
It's pretty exciting. How you
yeah.
doing, buddy?
All right.
Yep.
Just enjoying. It's nice out. Just got
It is
done
getting nice out.
going for a run.
Yeah.
Hopefully, not too many false springs as often we can have in the Northeast. I have coffee too. Look at that. It
Yeah.
says it says Be Super on it. I call these my basic bitch coffee mugs that my dad got me for Christmas.
What's basic bitch about them?
It's like they have steps on them. This one's Be Super. Like the first one is wake up,
Mm.
second drink coffee, three something something, four Be Super. And like I mean he knows I like coffee, so he probably was thinking, "Oh, I should get Austin coffee mugs." But like
A nice mug.
it is a really they are really nice mugs.
Yeah. Live, laugh, love, as I always say.
Yeah, but they're like, yeah, it's like the coffee mug of that. And it's like he just didn't understand that there's no way something like that would that's not I would avoid something like that should world's best TWSS champ Super Bowl one.
So
Interesting.
this is our fantasy football
Oh yeah, yeah,
league
yeah.
that I've now run 2 years in a row. I won the first Super Bowl, and then whoever won the second one, oh, it's Anson. I did not get him a cup.
You should get him a cup.
I should get him a cup. He got money though. I feel like that's like it's pretty good. You gotta do a cup too, huh? I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
know.
know. Just tell him to
I
make
just
his
feel
own.
like I feel like nobody was really involved this year with my league. What do you think I was doing wrong?
I don't know. I mean, I tell you why. Like, what was the buy-in? $50?
Yeah.
Yeah, I play leagues that it's like a $200 buy-in.
Mm,
So when it comes to my fantasy football energy, it's going to go to that. And to your league, it's low stakes. You want it to be low stakes. So
yeah.
I'm just gonna auto roster it.
Felt like this one kind of had less energy than the first year. You know, everybody was like really
May-
excited the first time we did it. Had like 10 people.
Maybe,
This time we had like eight. It was like fizzling out.
well, you're in that weird spot where $50 is it's not
Mm.
like something people are gonna be like, ooh, there's a big prize at the end of this rainbow. I mean, it's a couple hundred. What did the winner get? Like 300? 200?
Yeah, I think like 250 maybe.
Yeah.
200?
So
200.
yeah, yeah, that goes pretty quick around the holidays. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's like not worth it.
it's kind
But
of
the
just
first
like
time it was nothing. It was for free. You
well,
think that was different?
that's the thing. It was free. It was just
Yeah,
all
so that
for
was
fun.
fun.
You had to
Okay,
bring your own energy
for a
into it.
cup.
You know, it's like we're
Yeah.
just doing this for fun and bragging rights, and we're not having any money with it. So it's like, okay, so whatever fun you
Mhm.
bring to it is like the entirety of the point that you would do it.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Mm.
I'm not surprised that two people said, ah, $50. I want it to just be
Yeah.
fun. And then the
Okay.
people, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
you either got to go, you got to up it and have stakes, or just say,
No,
fuck it, it's for fun.
it's a good lesson in life too.
Well, that's how I think about a lot of things. It's kind of,
You know?
you either kind of go full into it or, you
Yeah.
know, or
Balls to the wall, as they say.
balls to the A wall.
Heyo.
No, hey,
We need a saying for the claw.
I scratch your face. I don't know. The claw,
Uh,
one claw to rule them all.
it's not coming to me. We'll work on it a little bit.
We'll work on it.
People in the
So,
comments can leave ideas.
absolutely. So, what's going on with you in Philadelphia?
It's like you said, it's the weather's getting nice out. Been trying a few different restaurants around town, and
Nice.
yeah, that's always a good time. I like the happy hour. A lot of
Cool.
places have happy hour from like 4 to 6, which is so interesting because I feel like that's prime time dinner, and yet they have these like little menus where you get better prices on things. It's cool. You get like a burger for like $6. You get a drink for like 8 or 10 bucks.
Chicken and the egg, is it prime dinner time because of happy hour?
Mm,
Or, especially in a city where it's very walkable, there's little things you can just walk to.
yeah,
Me and
that's
my
fair.
girlfriend walked
Man.
yesterday. It was really nice. And
Yeah,
this
around
was
town.
no, actually down to the park. She's over here. She just want to be on
Yeah,
camera and she's
yeah,
laughing
that's
because
fair.
she got
That's fair.
mentioned. And
Understandable.
yeah, and we saw some people and we saw a bunch of ducks, right? Like a ducks around a pond. So there's like the geese pond, there's the big geese pond, and there's the duck pond. We found the duck pond, and an
I
older
love
couple,
ducks.
I love ducks, was feeding. They were feeding the ducks, and then it's funny, and they're like, "Oh, we got to do it quick. The geese are gonna come." It's like you could tell they've done this before, and so we're watching them feed the ducks, and then after like a couple minutes, you heard you know, the threatening honking coming from behind us. And we looked along the little path leading up to the pond, and two honking geese were,
Mm,
sprinting towards
sure enough.
where the ducks were being fed. And yeah, when the
Mm,
geese get there, the ducks clear out, and the geese are assholes. They were like biting ducks that were not eating the food that they were after. So the ducks were still trying to eat some of the food that was being spread around, but the geese would show up and the geese like
yeah.
snap at the ducks and like actually rip feathers off of them. Geese are
Really?
honking assholes.
Why?
Like I
Like
try
what?
to, I don't know. I try to be nice to geese and try to understand them, but I
Yeah.
really think they're obnoxious
Mm.
animals.
Huh.
Like I remember, like I don't know, someone said it. Oh yeah, it was like a joke that somebody made that what should the political party's animals be, right? And because it's the donkey and the elephant, and I didn't think that was appropriate. And I thought that the Democrats should be that crying dog meme or crying cat meme, and that the Republicans should be a Canadian goose, like honking. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, I feel you.
you
I'm
know what I
making the
mean?
connection.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Republicans,
What was the crying cat meme
I mean, it might have
with
been
the
crying
girl
dog.
that's like looking at the cat and
No,
she's
no,
crying?
it's just the animal. It wasn't. There were no humans involved in the what I thought the Democrats' mascot should be.
It's just a
But
crying cat.
something like that. A crying dog or a
All right.
crying cat.
Yeah.
Just kind of like
Why? Just sad.
because they're wimps. Well, I think they are. So
Yeah.
just like a sad animal that's like, oh, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And
That's
then,
fair.
just obnoxious,
Not a
loud.
donkey? You don't think a donkey represents that well?
I think donkeys are fun. I don't think the Democrats are
You
fun.
like donkeys.
I like donkeys.
Mm. Have you ever seen
Like
like a donkey in real
yeah,
life
of
or
course. I've seen a donkey in real life. Yeah.
really?
They're fun. They're like little horses.
I like horses. I feel like I would like little horses.
I don't know. They're kind of just like goofy little horses. They gallop around. They just, have
Like on
a bit.
Shrek.
Yeah, that's the one everyone knows. I feel like they have good personality. I just don't see how like a donkey and an elephant really are representative of our
Do we know how they
political.
even came up in the first place with those
I think
things?
like political cartoons in the 1800s.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah,
Wow.
they were just kind of like I don't know through the pop culture of the time, whatever would pass for that. They were just like assigned to them, kind of like the Democrats became blue and the Republicans became red. There was no
Yeah, just random.
that just happened.
Hmm.
I think the New York like in 2000, like all the media. Um, I do have like a bit of put my tinfoil hat on here for
Okay.
that. Is I do think there's a lot to be gained in having like society as a whole extremely politicized all the time. It's kind of like how our election cycles don't really end. Like one election ends and they just start talking about the next one. And
Yeah.
how so many like issues that are not political become political, like who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? Republicans are rooting for the Chiefs and Democrats are rooting for the Eagles. I
Yeah.
think there's like something to be gained there for people who want to sensationalize news and sensationalize. Let's try to make everything a red blue divide.
Mm.
I think that was part of it. I think it's
That was
easy.
part of
It's
the
easy.
colors or the animals
Well,
or
maybe just like get people to identify with one side or the other and just be at each other's throats all the time.
you mean even having a mascot seems
Yeah,
pretty
having like I'm a blue donkey and you're a red elephant. It's like easier to just divide people up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I think
Why does
people at
it
the
have to
top
be an
society.
animal?
I don't
Animals are
know.
great.
I like
Why
animals
get
too.
them involved?
I wouldn't have it be an animal. I would have it be
Mm.
something else. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe some kind of like food. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kate's laughing over here. I
A
like
dirty
animals too.
sock.
Yeah, yeah, dirty sock and like a nasty show. I don't heard like dirty boxers and like a nasty sock.
Yeah. I think for
Or it
sure.
just goes full South Park, shit sandwich and giant douche.
Yeah. Even then, I think we're getting closer than the donkey and the elephant.
Yeah, I think we're getting closer. But yeah, that's just like my little I do
They didn't
think,
ask us.
that's part of my like ideology. I do think the top of society tries to like keep working people like at each other's throats over shit. I think
Yeah.
that's a tale as old as time.
I don't think
And
that,
then they
yeah, I
find
don't think that's a
they find
conspiracy.
that's not a conspiracy. But I think the red and blue thing might just be like I do think, how about like, you know what? We do want people to be really engaged politically all the
Yeah.
time and to watch, our cable news channel and read our newspapers and whatever.
Yeah.
And we find that people who are really politically engaged and identify with one party or the other tend to be really in tune and watch our channels and buy our newspapers and be really in tune with reading stories about, different issues that divide people. You know what I mean? What if we, get them a color? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it feels like they have like, a
Like a
uniform,
team
like a team, yeah. Well, I mean,
for sure.
it's a team sport for a lot of people who politics don't really affect, let's say,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like the issues aren't really affecting you because you've priced yourself out of politics affecting you. You're in like the
Yeah.
top 1% of income earners. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's
So
all of politics, I think, is like a show for sure. Which is
there's
it's like a really
there's
bad and boring show, but like,
there's a lot of theatrics involved in it. Well, it's got an element of
yeah,
drama to it. That's something like, WWF wrestling has,
it's an
even if it's contrived.
element of a lot of bullshit and lies.
I agree. But we've talked a lot about that stuff on like when I've been on. But it seeps in some people's minds right now. It's certainly on my mind. It
Yeah.
has to be on my mind, considering the last time I was on here, I talked about my, federal employment and what that means right now and all that stuff, and that just keeps going every day.
And then people were
But
going nuts about it in the comments.
are they?
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't see them. You can keep going. You can tell me
I've
that.
got all of, I think, 6 subscribers at this point.
Rome wasn't built in a
Um,
day, Bob.
true, but yeah. So let's talk about where you're at with that. How's that going?
Well, I'm sure it made the news that Mr.
I don't watch the
Musk
news,
wanted
but I'm off
five
Facebook
bullet
now.
he wanted 5 bullet points
Oh yeah, I heard that one.
from
Yeah,
a lot of, you know, let's just say not everybody got the email. A lot of people
I
did.
can imagine that. Yeah.
Not everybody did. Um, how they divvied that up, who knows? But
Hmm.
it was directed to DoD civilian employees to not respond to it. That
Interesting.
we'll give you directives when it comes to that. And
That's
then
good.
some, yeah, and then some agencies they said no, do your bullet points and respond to it. And then of
Really?
course the email,
Huh.
yeah, I think DEA and HHS. Um, and a lot of people were able to get the actual email address that things are supposed to be sent to and send their own stuff. Just normal people, like pictures of their cats and their opinions and what they think of what's going on or whatever. It's
Oh,
just,
I hear you. Yeah.
it's this is the first time in this job. Well, obviously Coheed, Coheed is one of my favorite bands. That's what I was thinking about. COVID,
Mm-hmm.
they that was like a big change. But I mean,
Yeah.
business was as usual between administrations. I came in, Trump was president, and
Yeah.
then Biden took over, and but the contracts and everything that we're working on, the projects we're working on, that, you know, things keep moving, right? Um, things are moving in terms of, the way the government's still going to appropriate and spend money. But this is like it's such an element of like it is chaotic because, this guy is I'm going to send you an email from an OPM account. And what it means, well, go back to my tweet. You know what I mean? Because if you just saw the email, it's like it didn't say anything about being fired or it's serving as a resignation if you don't respond to it. It's just give
Really?
us five. Yeah,
Wow.
give us. It just said an email. Like everyone, you can see the email because all the news companies reported on it.
Sure.
It said, 5 bullet points of what you did last week. Don't include anything confidential. It's like, okay, all right, this is from this new HR account at OPM. And but then you actually look at Elon's tweet and he said, not responding to this will be considered a resignation of your position. It's like,
That's a little extra.
uh,
That wasn't in the email.
well, no, that was not in the email. So it just, you know, I should probably, be careful about what I say in anything that would be posted to YouTube, but
Yeah,
there's 3 million people who work, in the civil service who are civilians. And then, of course, many more who are, you know, enlisted military officers.
I'm sure they're
US,
thrilled.
US, USPS is also, federal. So, you probably know somebody or know several people who, work for the federal government in your life.
Definitely got that
So,
email.
yeah,
5 bullet
probably.
points.
What would you, or what are the 5 bullet points you would provide? Let's say I emailed you and I said, Bob,
Yeah.
you fucking piece of shit.
God damn.
Give me 5 bullet points of what you accomplished
Mm.
last week. Be specific and nothing secret or confidential. What would you give me when I say dance monkey?
If you were Elon
I can't.
Musk or
Yeah, I can't. Well, just me. And I have
just
to
you?
I'll give Kate credit for Dance Monkey. She's the one who's brought up Dance Money, and I've kind of like rolled with it. Now I've used it a few times because that's kind of what if. Never mind. What if I said Dance Monkey to you, sir? Five
Yeah.
bullet points. Give me 5 bullet points. I'm not the one giving out bullet points. You're the one giving me bullet points. You work for me. I don't
Yeah.
know,
It's
man.
kind
I'm
it's
just rolling.
it's kind of bullshit.
But no, I mean, well, we went to Popeyes. Put some chicken tenders in the freezer. It's like, what did you do last week? Went for a walk.
Yeah.
So much more to life than output. You know, sometimes it's just stopping and looking at the ducks, as
I mean,
those.
it's like on the one hand, like what I'm sure, everybody's done enough that they could put like 5 bullet points together, right? But it's also like, why should you be telling that to this person who you have no idea like what authority they hold?
Yeah,
You know, it's kind of it's
yeah.
kind of weird. Especially as a government employee who's like entrusted with the public's information. Like it's kind of an
Well,
ethical dilemma,
of course, but
you know?
that's what they want. They want to attrition people away through,
Yeah. When politics
you
has
know,
real life consequences.
yeah. It's not usually for the rich. It's usually for people who have to,
Yeah.
work for a living and stuff. But so
Well,
much of that.
it's
Spring is on.
unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. Spring is on the way.
Spring is on the way. It's coming
Yeah,
and
man.
going, like you said, like it keeps like faking us out. We had some warm weather and it's cold again. It seems like we're in a good place.
You just gotta keep going up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Like 40 to 50 maybe. I'll hang on.
I'm going to opening day for the Mets.
Okay.
Let's go Mets.
Where's that at? New York?
Yeah, Queens, man.
Queens?
I haven't been to
That's
opening
cool.
day since 2001.
Okay. You just buy tickets. You got like season pass.
Oh no, I don't have a season pass to go up to Queens every day, man.
Oh,
That's
yeah, it's every day.
yeah. Baseball's
Mm,
every day. Baseball's 162 games. It's
it's
crazy.
crazy.
But
Are you a Phillies fan too?
no,
Hate Phillies.
I hate the Phillies. I
Mm,
despise the Phillies, which is
wow,
weird because I'm an Eagles fan. But I
I
hate the
love the
Phillies.
Eagles.
I hate the Phillies more than any other team in sports.
Mm,
I despise the Phillies.
really?
They- yeah, when the Phillies won the World Series in 2008, I would say that night was the worst night of my life, which makes me feel like I'm pretty lucky if like a team winning the World Series was the worst night of my life. But that was like right up there, one of the worst nights of my life.
Were they playing the Mets or?
No, no, but like the Mets made it a habit in those days of collapsing down the stretch. So the
Yeah,
Mets would be at first place all the way through and then shit the bed at the end.
yeah.
And then that would be, they did that 3 years in a row, basically, where they were the top team. And then when it came down to crunch time, they shit the bed. And I had to watch all my friends celebrate with fireworks and champagne and pots and pans and celebrating in the streets, like in front of me. And then, like, every few seconds in the midst of celebrating, coming over to me and saying, fuck you, and two middle fingers in my face. Say, go cry about it, Mets fan. These are like the people I spent all my time with. It was really miserable.
And you're
Well,
also
I was a nasty bastard towards them, so they weren't gonna let me like live that down. They basically said like root with
yeah,
us and be happy with us, root with us and be happy with us and be happy for us that our team won, or
yeah,
we're gonna make this whole thing miserable for you.
yeah. It's hard to intermix like
I'm
regional
like,
teams.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I'm never rooting for the Phillies over my cold dead hands or whatever. So yeah, when they won it all, they made me miserable. But yeah, headed up to me and my dad got a Mets had a great end of the year last year.
Mm,
They have like new ownership that looks committed to actually feeling a good product. So we're like, we've been last time we were at City Field was the World Series in 2015.
wow,
So it's about time we head up there
10
for
years
a
ago.
game. So
Crazy.
make a whole thing of it.
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long day to get up to New York for a baseball game. You got to get to Trenton, take the Northeast Corridor into the city, then you ride three trains, three subways, like in three lines on the subway in New York to get out to the stadium. So you're talking 5 hours just to get there. You watch a 2.5 hour baseball game, and then it's 5 hours back.
Jeez.
So that's like the whole day, and it like the vast majority of it is just getting there and leaving.
Yeah,
So I said, Dad, I'll go to opening day because he wants to go and I'd like to go too. But it's like this has to be a 2 day thing. This has to be we stay overnight in the city and make a thing of it and have dinner or something or go,
yeah. That makes sense to me. I'd rather stay
rather
overnight.
rather than do all this bullshit where
5 hours there, 5 hours back
because
in
it's
one
like
night. It's crazy.
because the day gets there and I'm not even looking forward to it because
You're
even
gonna be
though
driving so much, yeah. It's crazy.
well we take public transportation there because when we
Oh,
went
sorry. Yeah,
we
yeah.
drove there in 2001 and
Mm.
got stuck in traffic on the Grand Central Parkway for hours and hours and hours and missed the start of the game. And this is opening
You're
day.
like, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, this was opening day for the Mets, and they had won the National League the year before. So they were raising a championship flag that day, and we missed that. It's like a whole ceremony for the season. It's like we had a great year last year. This is our at the time. How many pennants had they won?
Mm.
That was their fourth. Okay, so it was the fourth time they'd won the National League. We're going to raise a flag and everyone's going to cheer. And that's like the moment you want to be there for. And even though we left South Jersey at 7:30 in the morning for a 1 o'clock game, we didn't get there in time. It was miserable. We were just stuck in traffic. And then like the old Shea Stadium in New York, uh, it's still a bunch of just chop shops out there. It's this
Like a
neighborhood in
chop shop.
Queens that nobody actually lives there. If you actually look at that neighborhood in Queens,
Yeah.
it has a population of like three people.
What's a chop shop?
Like a shitty place to get your car fixed, but it's also
Oh,
like
sure, sure.
shady. It's like somewhere like You would
Mm.
steal a car if you're a criminal. You would steal a car and you would part it out at one of these places. You know what I mean? Steal a car, bring it there, and they would just give you cash for, oh yeah, I'll take this car. We'll tear it apart right here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just shady. So,
makes sense.
we couldn't find a parking spot and we were already late for the game. So we're driving around the little chop shop neighborhood in Queens and we finally find a place. My dad's like, I'll give you $50 if I can just park my car in your garage. And guy barely spoke English. It's like, sure. And we headed into the stadium. I'm like, Dad, are you gonna get the car back? He's like, I don't know. Like we literally, I mean, it's that kind of area. I mean, they're trying to make that area like a whole entertainment complex. You know how down in South Philly they have Xfinity and all that stuff that
Oh
kind of
yeah, it's beautiful.
popped up around the sports stadiums.
Mm.
That's what Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets, is trying to do up there. So maybe that'll change, but we'll see. You don't watch a
You're
lot of
a
baseball, do you? Right? You
no,
got
it's
into the
too many
football a
games for
little bit.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, football I can handle. It's what, 16 games?
17 games and then the
17
playoffs.
games, yeah.
Yeah,
Basketball's a lot of games too.
yeah, just too much for you. Yeah, I get that.
And then how many is hockey?
82.
Still a lot.
And
And you
then
watch all of that.
um no, I don't watch every hockey game. I'm a big Ranger fan, but I don't watch every hockey game.
Mm. So two New York teams and a Philly team,
Yeah, and the Chargers.
which are now LA.
Yeah, which
You're all
disappointed
over
me.
the place.
It actually makes sense if you know the story. I can I can hit it real quick because like
Yeah, hit it.
people like this story.
People like the story.
People like the story.
People like the story.
I basically get my teams from my dad, right? And he grew up right outside New York, and he's a big Rangers and Mets fan. So that's pretty much those are my two hand-me-down
Two
teams.
New Yorks.
Yeah, the Rangers and the Mets. But he doesn't root for any of the New York football teams because his brothers rooted for the Jets and Giants, and he didn't want to root with his brothers. It was like a rivalry thing. He wanted to root against them. But
Always.
my one uncle, for whatever reason, would root for the Raiders a lot, who were in Oakland at the time. I don't know why he rooted for Oakland. I think it might have something to do with the fact that in the early days of the AFL, um, that was the channel they got on their TV that came in well. This was
Hmm,
like back in the day where
interesting.
you would get three channels, right? And none of only one of them came in, decently into your house. So I think my uncle Eric wound up watching the Raiders a lot, and then my dad was like, "Oh, I want to root for my uncle Eric's rival," so he would root for
Interesting.
the San Diego Chargers, and then he's just a big Chargers fan. Okay,
Wow.
so those are his three teams: the Chargers, the Mets, and the Rangers. And then he meets my mom, who roots for all the Philly teams. She grew up around here, and she's like, "Okay, so I'm born," and my dad's like, "No, he's a Mets and Rangers fan. That's not his decision or yours. That's mine." Right?
Yeah.
And then but she's like, but she wanted us to all root for the Eagles. And my dad, being a Chargers fan, had really nothing against that. It's like, sure, we're in the area, we can all root for the Eagles. And they got season tickets to the old
Wow.
Veterans Stadium. And he would still root for the Chargers, but we were all Eagles fans. So I just was like, okay, I'm an Eagles fan.
Yeah. And then you lived in San Diego for a little while, so you're like, all right, watching the Chargers.
Yeah, but I've always liked the Chargers as like a second team
Yeah,
because
yeah.
again, they don't play the Eagles. That
True.
would be
True,
a
true.
pretty nightmarish scenario though, because the
Mm,
Chargers have never won a Super Bowl, and I'd really like to be able to root for them should they get to the Super Bowl.
yeah.
But if it was against the Eagles, that'd be nightmarish because I wouldn't be able to.
Wow. Mm,
I'd have because the Chargers aren't like a very well run or successful franchise. It's not like the Eagles.
yeah.
The Eagles will be back to the Super Bowl. You know,
Sure.
they've been to a few in the last few years and they've won two.
Mixed
And
reality. It's killing it.
yeah, so it's kind of like, if the Eagles don't win one, they'll be back. The Chargers, if they make a Super Bowl, it's
You'd want
like,
the Chargers to win?
well, yeah, there's been 60 Super Bowls. Well, there's been
Wow.
59 Super Bowls, and the Chargers have only made it once. Only made it once. They haven't won any.
Wow. Yeah.
So if the Chargers made the Super Bowl, I'd like to be able to watch it with my dad and root for the Chargers. But
Yeah.
if they were playing the Eagles, I can't do that because I'm not going to supersede my favorite team.
Really?
No, no way. I can't
Really?
do
You would
that.
not.
No, I
You
would not
wouldn't.
root for the Chargers over the Eagles.
Mm,
That's not how it
wow.
works.
Mm.
They're
We
one and
got it
two.
here, folks.
They're
We
one
got
and
it
two.
here.
They're 1 and 2 for a reason. But
Wait,
yeah,
one and two what? Oh, number one and two.
yeah, number one and number two.
Number one and two.
Yeah, I'm playing a great new game right now. By the way,
Yeah, tell me a big game.
it's called Tunic. It's on like every platform.
Yeah.
It's kind of inspired by Zelda, and you play like a little fox with a sword. You go
Okay.
around and like
Sounds cute.
solve puzzles,
Was
and
this on Switch or
it's on everything. I'm playing it on Switch, but
everything?
it's yeah, it's on PC, PlayStation,
Mobile,
Xbox,
iOS?
Switch. Maybe. I don't think it. I don't think an iPhone would have any trouble running this game. It might be,
Hmm.
but yeah, maybe next time I'll talk about that a little bit more because I haven't beat it yet, but it's really really good.
You got your convention coming up, right?
The game convention
Yeah,
that's late June, so
late
not really
June.
coming up, but I'm certainly looking forward to it.
No other
Me and
conventions yet.
yeah, me and Kate were like I don't know. She had said something about the hotel or where the hotel is, and we were just checking out. I was like, what hotel was this again? It's like Hampton by Hilton because I did like the hotel block. Gonna be there for like Thursday through Monday. Be a whole thing.
Yeah. Just be able to walk there to the thing from the hotel.
Yeah,
Make it
looking forward
easy.
to it.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, I think it's about time
About
we
that
did.
time, yeah.
Yeah. Well, my friend, it's been great chatting with you.
Always.
Appreciate doing another episode on the Bob seat and hearing
Bubsy,
all about your work
like and
situation and
subscribe and
all of
press
the rest. So
smash that like button.
if you like hearing from the claw, keep coming back to the Bob seat. All right. Good night, everybody.
All right, buddy.